Welcome to the AI School Masterclass on Google Antigravity, the future of software development, where AI becomes your coding teammate. We have our speaker, Mr. Rupak, Senior Product Manager, with us today. Let's explore this powerful new technology. And now I hand it over to Rupak. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Deepak. Yeah. So let me share my screen and start the presentation. Is this good? Everybody can see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So from what I saw from the chat and the poll is that most of you know about ChatGPT and as a coding tool and also GitHub Copilot, right? So GitHub Copilot was the first one that you started using AI for the coding part of it, but it was not a code writing tool. It was more of a code completion tool. Like let's say if you say import and then there was a function. If you tab, it used to complete that. That's it. Or if you're writing a if else statement, it used to give you the options to complete that if else loop. So it was that basic to begin with when it started, right? So it was just smart suggestion engines, similar to how you do your smart suggestions when you're typing in your phones, the smart text suggestions that the phone gives us. It was similar to that. But after that, things started to evolve, right? AI coding agents right now, what you see today are totally different. So they can understand what you want to build, how you want to build it, what technology stack you want to use, and how to write the code, how to run it, even debugging also, and even how to test it. So starting from architecting the application to testing the application, everything, the conceptualization, writing the code, functions, everything the agents are doing right now. So instead of saying write a for loop, you're saying build me a login page with this kind of validations, or build me a database server. All these things, right? They are able to do that. So right now, all the role of a developer or a coder is being changed from someone who types in the code to someone who designs the systems and directs the system. Okay, this is what I want. This is how you're going to build it. So understanding coding and architecture and the technology is still very much important. So only the manual writing job of coding, that is gone. But you still have to understand the piece of code because the AIs are not there yet where like they're 100% mistake free. No, they still have some lot of learning to do. They still go into hallucinations. They have their own loops. Sometimes I tell it to go and build a login page. It just builds a login page. It forgets to add the sign login button. So these kind of things happen, right? So and sometimes the login page, it does not put in the validation metrics. So I just enter the email and there is no password. There is no security for the password. So these kind of things are still your responsibility as the developers, right? Right. So AI agents right now plan, build, and test entire projects autonomously. Right. These are what AI coding agents are, and they are the smartest coding partners that you can find. So some of the agents are they have like junior developer level of experience. Some are evolved and they have like senior developers experience. Like Devin is the most advanced tool out there right now. Cursor, anti-gravity, and all these things are catching up. And today we are going to talk about anti-gravity only because this is the most recent tool that as Google has launched, and it is one of the best that I have tested right now. So this tool launched in November 2025, and it's an AI-powered development environment built on top of Gemini 3 Pro AI model. So Gemini 3 also was launched in November. That was the latest model that has come up. And already, if you guys are aware of it, that is the ChatGPT and other models are running scared because Gemini 3 is so good right now, right? It does not just give code suggestions, it teams up with a set of AI agents. You have like multiple AI agents out there from Gravity that you can use parallelly. So one can actually build the front end, one can actually do the back end, one can actually work with you on the testing, one can build the UI. So multiple agents parallelly they can start working. And all of these agents coordinate among them automatically. You don't need to plan for it. Okay. So that is one of the best things, right? And then you can describe what you want it to build, what stack you want it on, or you can ask it to suggest, okay, this is my use case. Okay, what is the best stack for this? What should I use for front end? What should I use for back end? You can actually have a conversation with them with the tool, and then anti-gravity actually orchestrates or builds what on that on top of that, right? So that's a really beautiful thing. So why I'm excited about this tool and why this session and why? Because there's just not another AI tool that is there in the market or just an AI feature that has come up. Because everybody is building some AI thing or the other. No, this is something like a game changer altogether. Because development of all complex applications, this tool is 38% faster than Cursor. Cursor is already there in the market for almost, I would say, close to 2 years now, right? But that is also one of the good tools, but anti-gravity is much better. It is 38% faster development, and this is on not simple projects but complex projects. Okay, and the code accuracy is 94%, which is like exceptional, right? Uh, but there is still amount 6% of margin there. So keep that in mind. And bugs, 50% fewer bugs compared to any other tool introduced till now. Okay. So that itself is testament to its quality. Okay. So so this is very fast. Okay. It is very reliable and it is very transparent, anti-gravity. So you can see every action that it does. Okay. And you can see the screenshots, you can see the terminal output, you can see how it is thinking and the explanations that it is giving. And we will see all that in the demo. Okay. And then you can actually review the code, you can learn from it, and you can actually stay in control. There's not like just no black box and you just give a prompt, it goes and does the stuff. No, you can actually see how it actually does step by step. How is it thinking? It will give you the plan, then it will give you the task. Okay, I'm going to do this, and this is how I'm going to implement it. All of that stuff is visible to you. Okay, we'll see all that shortly. Okay, so how does anti-gravity first work? Right? First, what you do is you actually tell it your vision. Okay, what do you want to build? And this you can just do in plain English, right? You can just tell, okay, build me a college portal with a student login, an events page, and a notice board. Okay, so, and then if you want, you can actually expand further, like what kind of login. If you have a college email ID, you can ask it to use that. If you have some security and password constraints, okay, you can tell that. Okay, if what kind of design language you want to use, what kind of colors you want to use, what kind of images you want to use, what are the other constraints, everything you can, as detailed as you can, if you mention it, you can do that. Or you can just simply start with one line and then keep adding to it, keep adding to it. Like basically when your thought process is evolving, you keep adding to it. Okay. So anti-gravity, then what it does, it breaks it down into small modules. First, it sets up the project, then it builds the pages, then the database model, then the testing part of it. So all this is done slowly. And all this is done by the agents. They write the code, they run the different commands to set up your environment, the backend, the modules that you need, and all those things. They also download all the node packages or React or UI packages, whatever is required for the development of the tool, right? And then once the code is written and they want to test it, just like let's say the login page is developed, and you tell it like every time something is developed, you need to test it. So the login page is developed, it goes and tests it. and it will log the test results as well for you to see, right? So, and it will keep updating you. Okay, what am I doing? What it is? How is it progressing at all the point? And at any point, you can stop them. You can stop the tool, adjust the plan, and give it comments. Okay, don't use like this database. Don't use this database, or change the colors, change the layout, or change the framework. You can tell it. You're essentially like the project lead or the architect guy who's like telling all the developers, okay, you do this, you do this. You are like the orchestra master. You are conducting the orchestra. Okay, violin, you play this, drums, you play this. So coder, you do this, the designer, you do this. So you're telling all these agents that you are in control and you know what you're doing and you are telling what it needs to do. Okay, so moving on. So right now, I'll just go through these slides briefly. So right now in anti-gravity, there you'll have like three things mainly. One is the editor view, which is the normal editing coding view that you can see as part of any IDE, development IDE. Then you have the central dashboard, which is like an agent manager, where you can see what each agent is working on, and it's like a small Jira board if you are guys are aware of it. And then you have a browser extension where the agents go to the browser and test the app that you are building it, right? And if it has any coding changes or anything that needs to be done, it takes the screenshots from there, analyzes them and does the modification, and then opens the browser again and all that. So that's why you have the browser extension. So if you guys are on your laptops right now, I would urge you guys to go ahead and download anti-gravity right now. Or if you have already done that, that's great. Otherwise, it's just a very quick install. Download it, create an account, and keep it ready so that you can explore along with me towards the end of the session. Right? Good. So right now, today, I was thinking let's do a live demo of building a college website, so that you guys can relate to it. Or if you guys want anything else. But first, let's start with this one. This is a good start. This is what I had planned. So it will have a course catalog, the authentication system, event calendars, and students forums discussion board. Right, we'll be using the Next.js stack, Tailwind, and we'll have a dark and light mode toggle, and it will be a responsive design as well. Right. So let's start with that first. Okay, so let me share anti-gravity. Okay, I hope you guys can see it.
But from the audience side, I have one question. Where
Sure,
can we
sure.
download this for Mac or
Uh,
for Windows?
yeah, so go to antigravity.google. I'll type the link in the chat. Anti,
Can you show it to our audience?
sure. Go to this link. So when you visit the page, you have the prompt here at the right top. Download.
Thank you.
So they have the Mac version, the Windows version, and the Linux version.
Thank you. Yeah. Kindly
Yeah.
please.
And this minimum requirement is Windows 10 for Windows folks. And yeah, okay. So what I did is I launched the tool and I have kept it ready. So this is where I think you'll just begin before this. Right? So will be a launch screen. So it will ask you like, open a folder, open agent manager or clone repository, right? So if you have any existing project, you can close the repository. So right now, I'll just go ahead and start with one of the projects that I have built it already and ready for you. Okay, this is the UI. This is how anti-gravity looks like. So this is a normal IDE that everybody, like, if you guys have worked on Visual Studio Code or any of the IDEs, they all look this similar. So this is the Explorer tab where you have all your files and everything. Right now, I just created a folder. There
Can
are
you
no
help?
files.
I'm sorry to
Yeah,
interrupt you Papa, again. On behalf of audience, can we set up a new workspace? Probably a couple of people are new to this kind of IDEs, so they may not knowing that what is workspace also. Can you please explain us?
sure, sure. So let me close the window, start from scratch. Okay. So I'll just open anti-gravity. So this is what it comes up first. Okay. By default. So because these are my workspaces are earlier there, so I can
I can
create.
understand. Yeah, yeah. Multiple projects you might have done already.
Yes. So right now I can say I can add a duplicate this workspace, or I can create a new workspace or open a workspace from a file. Okay. Okay. I'll create a new folder
Oh,
called.
we are not able to see your screen, by the way.
Oh, it's getting shared. Okay. How about now?
Yes.
Okay. So right now from here I can go and say these are all my recent projects. But instead of that, I can say open and I can create a new folder. I can say AI school projects. Okay, create and open. So this is like basically it says, you need to accept the author. Yes, I'm the author, so accept it. So this is how you're going to create your new workspace. Simple. Okay.
Yes,
So
right. Yeah.
So this is the Explorer where you can see all your folders and files and code and everything from here. Then you have the search, you can do the search. Then you have the source control where you can actually connect your GitHub account. Then you have the run and debug. Then you have the remote explorer where you have your dev containers or your remote servers added here. And extensions, like let's say if you want some Python or Docker or all these things, you can add here. So this is like the similar. On the right hand side, if you see here, you have the chat, right? Some of the people who said they have idea on Cursor or GitHub Copilot, like there also you get this chat and everything similar to this. Okay, right? So right now we'll go to Open Agent Manager. So this is what is different about anti-gravity. None of the other tools have this kind of a mechanism. So right now, if you see, there are like multiple projects here. So let's talk about the project that we are working on, AI School Projects. This is the workspace. So this is, think of it like this is your chat or your inbox. So it has the lightly labeled inbox as well, right? Under this, I'll just create a new conversation. When I click plus here, it starts a new conversation here. Start new conversation in AI School Projects, right? So it says ask anything, and there are two modes here. Okay, planning. When the agent is in the planning mode, it means that it will plan each and every task that is doing detailed. It will do a lot of detailed research. And it can complete very complex tasks, and it can do collaborative work like having parallel agents running together. Okay, and fast mode is when you have a small task to accomplish, just something simple. You can just ask it to do it and it will do it. Okay, so right now, because we are beginning this project, right, so we'll go in the planning mode. Okay, sorry, there's one more thing here. You have the different models that you can select, right? Gemini Pro 3 we're going to start with. Gemini 3 Pro low, then you have Claude Sonnet, Claude Opus. This is the new model from Claude, folks. This is also really good. But let's today go ahead with the Gemini 3 Pro. Okay. Uh, Before moving on, there is something called as Playground here, if you see. But right, if you actually don't want to start anything right now in the projects and you just want to play around and see, like, I want to try a mock-up first or design something basic first and then, get my thought process right and then start the project, you can play around, right? These don't affect any of your projects. Okay, so this is also a very good way for you to explore the tool. I would suggest, either playgrounds or AI school projects. You can any of these projects, your workspaces, you can use to start off with, right? From here, let's say, okay, right now I'll give it a prompt. Uh, I want to build a college website for my college. Okay. It has to have a login page. After login, I can see my feed and I can see my friends. Uh, I can see community forums, my class schedule, my calendar. Yeah, I can keep going. So right now this is in the planning mode, and I want it to be a simple, clean design, nothing flashy. Use if you guys know about the tech stack behind it, what you want to use, you can suggest that, or you can keep it. Say that use the best tech stack for a faster and smoother user experience. I can say this and say enter. So right now, once you do it, right, you can see here, it says generating, right? So right now it is thinking. So if you see, it says thinking, and whatever it's thinking, you can see it, right? Okay, the thought I'm focusing on now on the essential features for this college website. Currently, I'm prioritizing this login. So it keeps changing. It goes into task mode, it goes into implementation mode, it starts preparing, it's considering the framework, what it needs to build. If you see here, highlighted here, considering the framework, currently evaluating it, what if given the modern responsive web application, all these things. So I'll let it run for some time so that it keeps on moving, going on from here and there, right? So if you see here, it has actually prepared an implementation plan. So let me stop it here, right? Let's see, review the implementation plan, right? So it analyzed everything. This is the thought that it has gone through. Then it analyzed its playground, right? Then it went into the implementation plan and created the implementation plan. Then it created the tasks. So let's see the first task. So what it has done is this created the set of tasks that it needs to work on. So which is project initialization. Okay. Check the current directory state. So for us, it is an empty directory. There is no folder in the folder, there's nothing, right? So then it says checking. Okay, it has checked it. So next, it will initialize the next.js project. So if you actually go to the implementation plan, it says the goal is to build a simple, clean, fast college website with login system, feed, friends list, community forums, class schedule, and calendar. So that is the plan, right? Then it says, okay, user review required. So we have to review this. I'll be using Next.js for the framework, vanilla CSS for styling. For authentication, I'll implement a context-based mock authentication. So right now it does not have a database, right? Without a backend database, one-click login will be available. So I can say use Postgres SQL database, right? And add a comment. So if you see, right now it will update the plan accordingly. So I have given this comment here. So it will go ahead and update the plan, right? So I can say submit here. Yeah, it will go ahead, update the plan. So if you see thinking focused in favor of, focused on setting up post as well as SQL. So it's going and doing the next steps, right? While it is doing, let's see what else it has created. So it says project setup. core structure, then the database. Okay, see, it has included the database right now. And it has defined the different models it's going to use, right? And what is the core structure? Basically, it is architecting like how is the flow, the layout going to be. Then the styles, then the features. So for the login page, it has created a page. This is what it's going to do. Then what is the verification plan? So it is going to create some automated tests. Verification will be primarily visual and ensure that the build command this passes. So even once it has written the code, if the build is failing, it is not going to pass the test cases. So only if the build passes, then only it's good. So then we have to do the manual verification. So this manual verification also, what we can say is, if you guys are aware of Playwright, use Playwright to create visual automated test cases. We will do this later. Okay, I'll add a comment. So this is like automated test cases where it is going to simulate how the user is going to use it, right? And it's going to go from step one, step two. Okay, click on this page, launch this page, enter the username, password, and click on the login button. All that is going to be implemented by Playwright. Okay. So right now, if you see on the left hand side, the project initialization has happened, right? So project setup is beginning. So it is downloading the Next.js tools, the backend project tools, whatever is required, the modules and everything, right? And it is working on it. See, installing dependencies, all these things, whatever, initially we used to take about 1 or 2 days for the simple setup of this project. Right now, it is going to do in like 5 to 10 minutes maximum, right? Because it has just to download everything, set up the environment for you to start your coding and architecting. And all these things is being done instantaneously. So right now, if you go back and see click on open editor here on the right top corner where I'm seeing, right? You can see earlier this was nothing. Right now we have everything. You have your folder created, you have your node modules that are being downloaded, right? So see, so many of them have got downloaded. Then you have your public folder that has been created with all your SVGs and icons. Then your main code folder is being prepared. Like your CSS is been created, your layout page and page module CSS, your configurations, your README files, everything are being created right now. If you see here, right? So this is how, and we can go and say Open Agent Manager. We can start another conversation here, right? One more conversation and say build the test cases, or we can say something else. I'm planning to add some more modules to the college website. And here, what kind of inputs do you need? I can ask it, right? It is just like having a conversation with your teammate. Okay, we are going to build some node modules in here, right? So what kind of inputs do you need? So you're just having another agent come in. While that agent is actually working and building on the project, you can start your brainstorming session with another agent here, right? So parallelly, like these things, you can initiate multiple things. So let's say you have built the project and everything is ready, right? Then you want to test the front end. So I'll start one agent here and say, okay, go ahead and test the front end for it. I'll start one more agent and they'll say, go ahead and test the security of the application. I'll start one more agent and they'll say, go ahead and test the backend of it. Okay, then I'll start one more agent and say, okay, I'm planning to beautify the UI and use, make it mobile responsive or make it colorful or whatever. Then I can say, okay, let's do that. So you in one single computer, you're able to do 4 or 5 different tasks or 4 or 5 different people, right? So that is how this is so beautiful, right? So, but right now, one thing that I want to give you guys here is anti-gravity is just launched, so it is very in the early stages right now, right? So there will be some amount of limitations, right? They are limiting the model consumption. Rate limits are there. So let's say if you keep using Gemini Pro, let's say for more than 1 hour or 2 hours, or based on like how much of context you are building, it will stop. Then you have to go and choose another model. So eventually, once they get into the paid versions and paid models will come up in like probably this month or next, right? So then you will have much more better control and you will won't be limited as such, right? So see, when I told it I'm planning to add more modules, this is what it thought and gave me, right? Is there any existing code base you can upload or point me to? Give me the tech stack details. Okay, what are the modules? It says student portal with attendance, results, grade, faculty portal, right? What are the visual styles I want? So all these things it is going to ask us, right? So we can answer it, we can discuss with it, and keep going, to keep this conversation going. And also you have the option to upload images and right. So let's say you liked some login page somewhere or some calendar image somewhere, right? You can actually take a screenshot, give it and say, okay, this is the screenshot, review it and update my UI based on that. Let's say right now, okay, I like this layout or like this logo or let's say this website. I'll tell it to take a screenshot. Okay, capture. Just taking a screenshot, copy, close it, go to anti-gravity. Okay, paste it here. I want my UI to be like this. That's it. Okay, you because there's a code, right? A picture can be 1,000 words. So right now the UI is doing that. So it
It's
sees
this is amazing feature. Just take any screenshot and ask the anti-gravity to create the same UI.
exactly. So it does everything. It does it perfectly as well, right? Beautiful UI it can create from. You can get inspired from any new UI that is out there. You can ask your agent to do it. The same thing if you actually tell your designer to do it, he'll take a lot of time to do it. But
Yeah,
you being a single point person, you are the architect. You can develop the UI, front end, back end, everything. Okay.
very true.
But again,
Very true.
let me reiterate again. You still have to understand what the code is, coding, what is UI design, because it just can understand the screenshot, but it cannot understand, it has to do mobile responsive, how to do it, what device you want to do it. All these things you need to supply it with. Okay. So if you see the implementation plan, it created a goal for itself. Create a modern responsive dashboard for the college website that mirrors the provided UI. Okay. This will serve as the foundation for future models. So it created like, okay, this is going to be the structure. Like app.js index will be there. Then the components are there. It is as a sidebar component. It has a dashboard component. It has a card component. Okay. Then it has the what are the colors. Okay. Light gray, dark navy, red. Then it has the verification plans. All these things it has built. So for every task you give in the planning mode, you will get okay a task list and an implementation plan for all of them. Okay. So, okay, this is one more thing. Right now, if agent terminated due to error, you can prompt the model. So this keeps happening sometimes. As I told you, this is still in the beginning stages. So this will happen. So just click on retry and it will go ahead and try it again. So this is still building our project, right? So let's go back to and see where our previous project that previous conversation is there, building a college website, right? So it is still going on, right? It installed Prisma, Next.js, next auth.js for the authentication part of it. It is scaffolding the application. So it's still going on. If you see, it's still thinking, it's going on, command, thought, assessing the installation, it's chugging along. I have given it another 30, 60 seconds. So it's like it's thinking like you are thinking. The way they have built it, it's very intuitive. Like, how you think and how your conversation keeps going along with the when you're doing something, right? It keeps thinking in that way only. So that's why I liked it. But because the rest of the like cursor and everything, they are like in the black box. It does something, blah, 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 and it's just gone and it is just done. And the application is there, right? And cursor and all those things, either you have to stop the cursor tool or copilot tool in the middle and go back and start again. Here it's not like that. Even in the middle of the process it is there, right? I can actually go ahead and give it a comment and ask it to change it, so it'll keep evolving, right? And this tool is going to get better only over a period of time. Let's go back to the editor and see what, yeah, see, if you see, there is few more files that have been added in the src and in public. See, no, some more node modules have been added. So the project initialization itself is going to take a lot of time, right? So in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll explore the agent manager a little more, right? So all your conversations will be part of this inbox, right? So this is the conversation that is running. Okay, this is the conversation that is running, right? This is something that I had done previously. I've kept it idle. It is not yet closed. Right, these are all my previous tasks that I have done. So if you see, all my previous agents are still here. I can go back to any of the agents. I can kickstart it and have it running, right? So the previous agents are also still there. I can keep executing it. So right now, if you see, I have this project that is running. These two are my projects that are running, right? Done. And so right now, let's say if you want to, uh, you know, this is the browser that we spoke about, right? If whatever application that you build, you want to test it, how will you test it? So it is going to open a browser. This is the Chrome browser itself because that is also owned by Google. You can go over here and then you have the terminal where it executes all the terminal commands and everything. Whoever has the coding knowledge right now, you run your npm node packet managers here and run dev to start the application and all those things. Those can be done here. And then this is the editor where again you go back to that. And then you have your preview. So follow the agent. So it is following. What is it doing? So it will keep following the agent. Okay, this open. I Yeah, so the artifacts are here. So for, as I told you, right, every agent will have its own implementation plan and tasks. And in that it can have multiple of them. So if you one implementation plan and tasks are done and you give it another prompt to it, it'll start, another implementation plan, another task. So all of them can be seen here. And whatever files that you have uploaded are given it. So I uploaded one image, right? We gave it a screenshot that is here. All of it will be here. So right now, if you see, it's starting the agent browser, anti-gravity browser control, right? And it is trying to do something. It's trying to launch the application. Let's see where it is at. Okay, waiting for the command. Okay, we'll stop one of the processes so that we can get this done faster. Yeah, I stopped this project so that we can build this one. Yeah, so this is ongoing. Let me close this. Yeah, so see, it added 93 packages, audited 480 packages, 170 are looking for, right? So it is installing Prisma. Prisma is for your front end, so your back end to talk to the database, right? It is initializing the configurations and everything. So all this is had to be done by a senior guy or a database guy and a UI guy. All these things separately, they are being done by one agent. Okay. So once that is done, it will launch the app here. So yeah, I think how are we doing on the time, Deepak? Uh,
Yes, Rupert.
how much time do we have?
No, no, please feel free. Maybe 10, 15
Okay.
minutes. Yeah.
See, so see here it's creating all the authentication JS JavaScript files. We can click on it and you see it's just created that file and it is adding plus 0 minus 0. Okay, let's open the Prisma. Say I'm adding the code here. Right now ArcGIS, it's 68 lines of code. It added just like that instantaneously. And if you see, these are the files that are getting changed. So if you are not a coder like me, and I would I would just close this view and I'll just focus on this. Okay, is it getting done, or I'll just go have some coffee or something and then have a talk with my friends and then come back and see this work is done. Okay, so here in the meantime, okay, this guys, you can also use it for your building basic project like your HTML. I want a website, simple HTML page describing about, sorry for the spelling mistakes, describing about the AI school, what it does, who started it, etc. Give me one page. So right now, this agent is running. It is going to design a HTML page. I use this tool even to develop some research documents as well. So let's say I am working on a new project for a healthcare client or some other client, right? I want to do a brainstorming and all those things. I can still do it with, even though this is a coding tool, it has a very good engine behind it, which is the Gemini 3 Pro, right? I can actually discuss with it, plan with it, do research, build documents, build tables, graphs, charts, and everything, and make a beautiful PDF and submit it to my boss, right? All those things can also be done. So don't think of it this as only as an agent, which is helpful for coding. No, this is much more beyond that. And we can I have seen my team members do SEO as well with this search engine optimization, which is part of digital marketing. Okay, so that can also be done here. And this does because this is integrated with Gemini Pro, behind which we have this Nano Banana. Yeah, yeah, I guess you guys know about it, which is the image creation tool that also it can do, right? So here is the implementation guide. Create AI school website, index.html, CSS, script, anything. So I'll say proceed. I like it. I say proceed. It'll just go ahead and build it. So let's see where are we at with our college building website agent. In the meantime, I would say if people you have any questions, we can use this time to answer those questions.
Generally, it takes 15-20 minutes to load the or complete creating the whole code and structurize it, Rupak?
Yes, so because we started the application from scratch, right? It didn't have the packages, it didn't have those all what are the backend needs, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
downloading all the stuff, setting it up, creating the main pages,
Okay.
the architecture, all those things. So if you see,
Mhm.
maximum it is done. I think it should be done very soon. I didn't want to start with the node modules already there in first because I wanted to show it does everything for you. It just builds the entire, the code base. See, this all code base, there was nothing.
Correct.
This folder.
Probably once we
Yeah.
have the same workspace for the new project, it takes maybe lesser time compared to this, right?
Yes. So if you see the project structure and all these
Mm.
things, it's not fully done yet, but it is moving on with the other things as well. See, it
Very
has
true.
checked all these
Mm.
things. The dashboard is done, the pages are done.
Mm.
So
Mm.
parallel it is implement a lot of things.
So once the
Usually,
implementation,
yeah, this
okay,
is the
once the
power of
implementation plan
like
is
right
there,
now.
once the implementation plan is there, probably it is like working many developers working parallelly in sync.
Yes, yes. So
Wonderful.
because this is the main part, this folder structure, architecture of the application, all these things, this is the part where it actually takes a lot of time. But if you see the actual real power of this one, right? I said create an AI school HTML page. It's already done with the design part of it, right? And it is working
Mm.
on the functionality. It's going to verify it right now.
Correct.
See, the HTML is done. So if I click on it, see the code is already been written.
Excellent. Excellent. Generally, if the same kind of work, if you take at least a decade back, then in the SDLC model or Agile model, whatever it is, it used to take probably planning at least 2 to 3 days with a decent team size, and then implementation part probably two couple of weeks, and then testing part, and then publishing. It's all like 1 to 2 months of effort. Now it is just getting into minutes. That is a great change.
Exactly. Yes. So the planning stage and everything you are discussing with the tool and you're planning it. The design part of it, you're researching with the tool and you're doing it, right? The
Yeah.
coding, architecture, everything you're telling it and you're deciding everything here.
Wonderful. I think it has a first glance also here.
See, it's an
Wonderful.
simple,
Yeah.
basic website that you can click on these. Okay, agent is running, controls are disabled. See, the agent is verifying it right now.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. So still work in progress.
Yes. So it is verifying whether everything is being done as per the instructions that we gave. So right now, it is just checking like all the code, everything that is working properly or not.
Excellent. Probably the more context we give, more inputs we give, maybe the overall structure, it takes a little more time, but still you'll get the exact what you need.
Yes, yeah. So right now, if you see here, we haven't written anything like this, hands-on projects, research and innovation, cutting-edge curriculum. We haven't given it any content. It went and it created all of this content,
Yeah.
right?
Probably as a business owner, probably you need to read each and every statement and then go and correct them. That's it. Oh yeah, you are live.
Yes, but yeah, but it has created the basic content for it.
Correct.
On top
Correct.
of it, you can see because I just gave it a basic prompt. If I
Mhm.
give more content, if I give it more instructions, the
Very
more
true.
beautiful the site will come up. Right now, it just made a beautiful site. That's it, and it
One
was
one
very good.
simple prompt. That's it.
Yes, one simple line.
Yeah, one simple line. Not even complete context we have given. Yeah.
Yeah. So this, it's taking a screenshot right now, and it is going to verify it, and it is controlling the browser.
Yeah. Probably the verifying part. Probably it is testing with whether how far I'm close to the implementation plan or not.
Yeah.
It is
So checking the
rechecking.
looks good and there are no obvious visual bugs, takes a screenshot of the main hero section, the founder section. See what its goal, verifying part also, it knows what it is. Okay, looks
Clearly,
like
yes.
our that project is done. So let me stop this so that we can go and look at our project.
Rupak, like
Yeah.
we have a question from Ramer. Does anti-gravity have the limit for a number of prompts?
Right now, yes, it has. Based on the context that you say, give, right? Let's say if you are giving a huge prompt and huge, it does a lot of work, it runs out, it hits the rate limits. But right now, I think yesterday or day before yesterday, they increased the limits. Earlier, it was much worse. Like, I was just designing one page, it ran out of limits. But right now, if you see here, we have worked on the application and we built everything. It didn't run out of context. So this is better. So this will keep improving. Rate limits will also be improving further.
Okay.
We're excited to see our first website.
So maybe app. I'll remove this comment for. Oh, okay. So it's checking the environment configuration, all those things.
Right,
Checking.
exactly. It is mocking exactly a developer.
Yeah. So right now we have a backend database and everything, right? So we don't have any user login credentials and everything. So it is going to mock up those things and it's going to launch the application. So it's inserting something into the database schema. Okay, again, thinking. It's starting the application server. Database is blazing.
It's really, really great. When what exactly is doing also, it's prompting properly.
Yes, was built, environment variables, push features. Okay, so it walk through. Okay, it says that we have to configure the database. So just show me the UI screens. Right away, we won't configure the database part of it.
Yeah.
We'll just okay, I'll say remove the database and okay, ask it to remove the database and give the show the app.
Yeah. So that
Much better.
it will be very quick. Yeah.
Let's see if this part is done. Yeah, it has finished everything. See the website. It even created a form,
Yeah.
contact, about.
Not that bad. It's for the first attempt with a simple statement. It's almost like you're close to 30 to 40% of the work is done already.
Yeah. So on top of this, I can add more things, images, and all those things that I can.
More and more. Yeah, more prompts and specific things. Then yeah.
Yes. So yesterday, before the session, right, I actually wanted to create the project and keep it ready. But then I thought, like, if I keep it ready and show
No,
it,
it should be live. It should be live. It should be better to be live because many of them probably know coming across this website. I mean, tool the first time. So for them, it is also a good learning what to observe, what not to observe. It takes some time. That's okay, but still. So when you set up the database, you need to have obviously the setup properly set. So it takes time that people need to understand that.
perfect. So it's logging the application. In the meantime, if you have any questions, right, let's shoot in the chat, or you guys can unmute and you can ask me. In the interest of time, it's 11. I think I shot 10 minutes past, I guess.
No, till 11:20 we can extend. That's the problem. So guys, any doubts on this session so far? You're feel free to unmute yourself and ask. Meanwhile, that anti-gravity is doing its work in the background. We can you're feel free to ask questions. As a audience like Rupak, what is that one thing that we can quickly start doing? Any kind of guidelines on that before anti-gravity? Do I need to do some homework or in the on the learning part so that we can come to anti-gravity? Any suggestions on that, Rupak?
No, download it and start having a conversation with it and start building it. Because if you have basic knowledge on coding, you can just get started with this and build any kind of application. It can be a mobile app, web app, desktop app. You can start exploring, but use the planning part of it and understand that this tool can make mistakes. You should be able to work with it. See, right now it made a mistake. It
No,
has
yeah.
a so right now it is looking at this. It is only controlling it. If you see the blue color border around the browser, right?
Browser, yeah. It's controlling. It's still working on that.
Anti-gravity is looking at all of this. It is doing the necessary things to correct it. So right now it's going back. I think it's going back into the tool.
Excellent.
Yeah. See, opening there, it has got stuck. It is still running. So it's going to verify it, correct, do the necessary corrections, and launch the application again. Right? Yeah.
Super.
So if Yeah. So to answer your question, yes, get download it and start using it, I would say. And there are a lot of very good tutorials out there in the market. And obviously, AI School, you guys have very good resources that can help the team here.
Yeah.
So it is, see, right now it is fixing the file structure. See, if this was a smart tool, right, it would have first only did the proper file structure and alignment and everything, right? So no, this is learning, this is evolving constantly based on the needs and everything. And every project
And
is going,
also we asked to remove disconnect the database also. So it
yes,
has to restructure again.
yeah. So yeah, so these things will keep happening. It will keep evolving, and you guys need to understand a lot.
उसका कुछ तो चेंज हो चुका लेकिन आप लोग को अपडेट नहीं हो
Okay. Anyone in the room have any doubts about this? Meanwhile, anti-gravity is doing its work.
Yeah,
Feel free to.
Rupak, we have a question from the Prabhas. What is
Okay.
the difference between Gemini CLI agents versus anti-gravity, which could be better for end-to-end applications?
You said Gemini CLI?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. See, Gemini CLI is a command line interface. Like basically, if you use whatever term, you have to run the code in the terminal or in the command prompt rather, right? So that is kind of like an entirely like a black box. So if you just give it instructions, it is going to go in the back end, build everything, and then show it to you. That is the command line phrase. That is usually used by expert developers, those kind of people, right? But this is used by all the developers rather, and I would say this is much more friendly and you can control a lot of things here. And you can see what are the parallel agents that are running, and all those stuff. And at the end of the day, the backend, the models and everything are the same. Your experience of building the application is different when you're using a CLI versus anti-gravity. Okay, so if you see right now, the application is launched, right?
Oh, that is the first look. Okay, nice.
So you have the campus feed, okay?
Yeah.
On the right side, you have the
And,
application.
and also we gave the clean interface like our we have we uploaded the image also of a screenshot like
That was for a different prompt. This is for a different one. Yeah.
okay.
So it's still, if you see at the left-hand bottom, it still says that Next.js has 5 issues. So it's going
Hmm.
to still look at it, keep improving it, keep launching it till it gets it right, and or till you give it its okay. So right now I can just say, okay. So even the tool is using it, I'm controlling. Yeah, I lost control. Okay, agent running control is stable.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, like for students like in second year and third year of their BTech, like they are like we are just exploring things like how do we develop websites? Like we are going through it now, sir. Like we are learning how
Mhm.
this will help us, sir.
So right now, what technologies are you using? Are you learning? Like what coding languages?
So basically like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and for backend Java.
Yeah. So right now, if you want to build any website or anything, right, you can use this tool as a learning partner. Okay. So right now, whatever modules that you learn in college or school, you can actually come and experiment on this here, and it will guide you. You have to give the prompt such a way that, okay, today I learned this, help me implement this. So it will give you the exercises to implement that. Okay, so and it will can write the code for you, but as you are learning, I wouldn't suggest that it should write the code for you. You should write the code, understand it, and help it, guide you through that process. Use
Thank you.
it in that way.
Yeah, so thank
HTML
you.
or CSS. Yeah.
Maybe
Basically, you can.
to add a couple of things, Ritesh, as you're in second year now, understanding the basics concepts on HTML, CSS, and other web technologies is a must. Okay, whether you have tool help or not, first and foremost, have the fundamentals right, so that these tools actually can speed up the process of your learning, as Rupak told, that as a learning agent for you, and to it also adds a development team for your thought process. So you being a navigator, as a orchestrator, as initially Rupak mentioned, so you'll have multiple people working together to build a website. For example, if in your college, let's say there's a competition, so you want to establish a website, so you have very less time. So those are the situations where you can use this kind of tools and establish the website and quickly run it and start doing the other works. In that way, you can always think these kind of agents, Ritesh.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So right, if you see, it is showing up the different pages. So this is my friends list. I can click on them and message them.
Hmm.
And this one is the feed.
Yeah. So a pretty simple website, quickly it gave you. So while the more interaction, the more prompts or the more context you give on each piece of it, then it will start doing it. For example, if you want to change the color of the campus feed to red, or have the box something in this color, so all these things can be done one by one. Maybe the more and more prompts, I think.
Yeah. So see, the basic architecture of the application is done. The basic screens are done. The first level is done. So we accomplished all that in 1 hour. So
Correct.
next, what your team can do is they can actually go ahead. I'll upload this course code to GitHub and give the link. You can share it with the team members here.
Definitely. Yeah.
They can use that as the base and start on top of it, right? Already they can clone this into from the Git into anti-gravity once they download it. On top of it, they can start building the different versions. They can link the database, they can beautify the UI, or they can add more features. They can change the layouts, whatever.
Hmm.
They can play around with it. So the basic version is done. The architecture,
Correct. This.
the layout, the tech stack, everything is done.
Yeah, that's excellent input for the people audience also. Probably we will give you the GitHub link of the whatever happened so far. So on top of it, if you can really add more features and beautify it according to your needs, and then go and publish it for your college campus and all. Yeah. Probably, yeah. So we came to the last part of the session. Like we have more 10 minutes. So any conclusion from you, Rupak?
Guys, so everybody is thinking like, there's a lot of AI discussions happening out there in the market, and this is going to be how will we get jobs and all those things. But guys, this is something that if you learn starting from now, you know how to use these kind of tools, you know how to build everything. So this is like technology agnostic, meaning you can build applications on mobile apps, Android, iOS apps. You can build web apps using React or Angular or anything. You can use any database. You are not tied by a technology if you are using tools like this. Okay. So, how to use these tools better if you know that, and understanding how code works, how React works, basic, if you know it, you know how to build beautiful and super fast, secure applications, right? Uh, don't feel that this is something that is going to take your jobs or something like that. It is something that will be an added advantage for you going forward. And any of these agent tools, I think you should go and subscribe to a lot of good blogs and podcasts out there which talk about this AI tools. And of course, AI School itself is publishing a lot of good stuff. Follow that and be on top of the innovations that are happening in the AI front. I would say that's all.
Great, great. Thanks, Rupak, for coming and taking your time over weekend and giving the knowledge about such a wonderful tool like anti-gravity to our audience.